And I got into improv comedy in high school, and um, it's been a kind of a journey back to myself as I get older. Like my appeal to comedy, my appeal to acting is that, like, oh, I can just live in this world and we can all have a good time, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
really have to be real, and I don't know how to be real sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
like oh, that's what I felt. And I feel like life has been so real
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
past.
Welcome everybody to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always hosted by me, Chris. Welcome everybody to episode number 585. 585. 585. I don't know why I'm chanting that. I guess I know why, because I have an amazing guest that is not a one, not a two, but a three-time returning guest. Lilan Bowden is on the podcast, and I have to say that when I have guests, returning guests, come back on, I always hope that we're bestie boos and super tight and just best friends. And I want that with Lilan because she is such an amazing person. Good actor, good director, good mom, good skater. That everybody needs a Lilan in their life. And yeah, that's so yes, and Lilan from such projects as Shrinking, uh, Murderville. I think you should leave. She also does a lot of improv around LA, so yeah, I just had so much fun chatting with her and catching up with her. But you know what? I think this is the part where I say, I have to stop talking. I really do. And everybody, that was aggressive for some reason. Everybody sit back, relax, and Lilan, take it away. Lilan,
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I am good and tired. How about yourself?
I'm good and tired. I'm good and tired. Yes. Gosh, it's been many years.
It has been. It's like nothing at all happened in your life. You didn't get married. You didn't have a kid. None of that happened. I feel like we recorded during the pandemic, or just before,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just after, or during. I don't know.
I know that was like one lump of time.
One of those times. But how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I feel like, as our world goes straight into a toilet,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm like, I feel like very balanced in my own life, and that's
Mm-hmm.
a real blessing. And that's my truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of it too is I found it like a nice balance of engagement, of like, okay, I volunteer here, and then I'm with my family here, I'm with my friends here, I'm doing work here, I have a creative outlet. So I feel really blessed in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, the work that you did on Murderville lives rent free in my mind, and especially in the Christmas episode. That's that episode is a go to watch, just because it's funny. It's all funny, but I just love how Pete Davidson gets there and just doesn't give a fuck and just starts ripping stuff up, and you're like, no. And it's just so funny to me. And
Oh my gosh, thank you.
yeah, how I don't do you I don't think I've asked you this. Do you have a hard time keeping a straight face in, like, whether it's film or show, stage show, any of that?
Um, less for camera.
Hmm.
I think it's because there's an innate feeling that the stakes are high,
Hmm.
especially with a show like Murderville, because it is kind of set up like an escape room.
Yeah.
So you kind of get one shot at
Yes.
that
Yeah.
like organic reaction, at that surprise. And I really don't want to, although I did there's a speech that I give in that episode that I remember fumbling so hard,
Mm.
and it was like the first shot, and I was like, well, there it is. That happens too. um but for shows, I allow myself to laugh like I'm an audience
Mm.
member. I think it's like healthy for the what's going on stage. It's healthy for that action.
Yeah.
Because that is for me, that's the beauty of a live show, is that we are it's energy based.
Hmm.
Like there's so much forgiveness for mistakes, and also we welcome the mistakes because that can lead to something really creative when it's an improv show. So like the more I allow myself to be an audience member as well as a performer, um it I think it benefits my performance, my contribution to it.
Okay. And it's like it's hard to keep a straight face when even Will Arnett is losing it. So it's just like, okay, well, okay, hide your face or your mouth or whatever. Look down. I don't know what techniques there are, but I just love the Christmas episode so much because uh, it's just silly. I love silly.
It's so silly, and I love because we we did that the season, and then we
Mm-hmm.
found out we were getting a special
Mm-hmm.
order, so that like it's separate. And so I believe, like, I would imagine it like for the producers, it's like, hey, we don't know what the future will hold, so let's just jam pack this
Mm-hmm.
one with silliness.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like, they got
Yeah.
such great people. It was, I think it was a week, a day,
A
a
day.
couple days. Oh no. Um Time. But that's one of the few shows that has to shoot linear for the most part,
Yeah.
because um I think, yeah, all of it, because you have to maintain the surprise for the
Mm-hmm.
special guest. Like, so it is really like, okay, now this is happening. And it happened on the Christmas episode, but also in the season two. It's like you kind of write to what there's writers on the day that kind of adjust as the special guest moves
Mm.
through the mystery,
Yeah, the murder.
the murder.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I just love the fact that, improv and murder mystery, um that should be a thing. That should be a thing taped live, not live, but whatever, taped every day so that I can just, well, me personally, I can just enjoy it because yeah, it's just so fun. It's like a Who's Line but murder mystery.
Well, I hope Netflix hears this podcast
Oh,
and
oh
goes,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got stock in WB, so they'll hear it all right. I don't have any stock.
It would be so fun to shoot more Murderville.
No.
Gosh, it would be just a dream. Um, yeah.
And then I wanted to talk about, because like I said, we haven't talked since you got married and had a baby. How has married life, mom life, change the way that you do like improv, or do you see comedy different, or like a different type of comedy different, anything like that?
I think the biggest change is that I'm not doing shows after 9 p.m.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
that's fair. That's
really,
fair.
I'm like in bed by 10,
Yeah.
this chapter
Yeah.
of life. Um, Honestly, I think it's become, honestly, I don't know if I see comedy different or whatever. I will say this. Uh, I, I, I love it when something is just, I can just guarantee it's G-rated now that I'm a parent,
Yeah.
which is like, it's a little my own comeuppance, because like I've done I've just been in such a world where anything goes for so long,
Mm,
especially improv comedy. Most all shows at Upright Citizens Brigade, where I'm still performing, are kind of like a, watch at your own risk. There's not hard guidelines for most shows, but and the audience, the majority of time is all adults.
mm-hmm.
And so you kind of just get used to, like, oh, this is just, we're all mature enough or not mature enough to handle anything. And then, it's different when they're babies, because like they don't know what sounds are.
Oh,
It's all just sounds.
yeah.
But like my kid now, he's a toddler,
Mm-hmm.
and it really snapped me in line so fast because they parrot everything, they pick up on everything.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
um I forget, can people curse on this podcast or
Oh,
no?
yeah.
Or
Of
do you
course.
prefer
Of course. Say whatever the fudge you want.
the zones? um when like my kid went through a little stage where he started doing like impressions of anything. I don't know what, you just pick up these little things,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it looks kind of like a Robin Williams
Oh,
character will.
oh.
Yeah, just like hello, you pick up the phone, hello, da, 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 like, and he's just like trying out voices and sounds, walking around. And one of the characters that he did was, yeah, I don't know if he got this from me or my husband, but he would hold an imaginary cell phone, look down at it, and quietly say to himself, "Fuck." And I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
he's picking up on everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
um or like I remember, and now I'm good. But it's too late. You say it once
Mm-hmm.
and it's forever trapped. He was holding a little uh bunny shaped ceramic planter pot,
Mm-hmm.
and I was letting him hold it, and he dropped it, and I freaked out, but it's not his fault, and it wasn't expensive,
Yeah.
and I went, oh, and then trailed off, and he just went, shit.
He's already yes ending.
He's already as yes ending. He knows what comes after a long sigh of resignation.
Aw. That's always when I was taking care of my nephew, I would always ask him, "Oh, what does Grampy sound like? What does Grammy sound like?" And when he did Grammy, my mom, his grandma, he just yelled Tissifer because she's always yelling at me apparently. So,
Oh, that's fun.
I was just like, "Wow, mom, you've ruined him. He thinks that you're always yelling him at me, but it's still funny." So it's just okay, but it's just funny the impressions that kids do, and yeah, they're sponges. They're like, oh, man, I gotta watch what I say.
They hold a mirror up to you.
Yeah.
Another one that my son did too is, like, I'm with the whole family's getting ready to go out of the house. I'm always the latest one. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always just like, oh, I forgot my keys, la la la. And he was like, Mama, Mama, and I was like, yeah, 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 hold on. And he went, Babe.
Babe. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's humbling seeing your child do impressions of you or your spouse.
It's you know, in the game of life, I was so happy that I was able to watch my language because everybody else, well, besides my parents, were cussing around these kids. And I'm just like, what's the matter with you? Like, you don't cuss around kids. And until I heard, like my sister or their father do it, I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I can do it, but I still can't do it because I don't know, they're kids. They're not kids. My nephew just turned 14, and my niece is gonna be 12.
They're growing
Yeah.
into.
My
Out kids.
my nephew is I'll say this. He's a brace face, so and he's taller than me, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. He was this little short guy, and now it's just like you were supposed to be short. What's
Can I ask you, Chris?
Yes.
Your nephew's 14.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are solidly out. Actually, I don't know how close we are in age, but I know for myself, I am solidly out of any relevant generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm solidly out of the quote cool generation.
Mm.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I am solidly in the generation that is reckoning with that we are no longer the featured generation.
Yes.
Um, do you do you feel like now that your nephew has reached like straight up teenage age, like do you feel like an alien around him, or do you feel intimidated because he is now like does it mess with your coolness?
Um. No. Eh, because
Because you're
uh,
too cool.
uh I kind of am, yeah. No, I just feel like what they think is funny, I don't think is funny. So therefore, it's not cool. So he's not. I feel like a jerk saying this, but yeah, I don't think he's cool in the same sense that, I was at his age. Of course, I was probably watching SpongeBob and thinking that was so funny, but whatever. But there, he's part of this generation where they have fluffed up hair and like broccoli heads, and he's always like he's always posing like that, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what if that is cool? And he's always saying my guy and high-fiving, and I'm just like, no, I'm your uncle. You give me a hug. I don't want to high five you. Just ugh. So,
My man.
yeah, I don't think I can get past that
I
because
think that's great.
yeah.
I think that's great that you have a strong sense of, well, I mean, also too, like cool can mean anything,
Right.
does it mean like does it mean what's popular
Mm,
in our current zeitgeist? Does it mean a strong sense of self? it,
mhm,
it can mean both. And I will say, like, I as like, oh, the relevancy,
mm,
the slang that is like my home base and
mhm.
stuff is no longer like ages you, like identifies you. um I I have never felt more comfortable in my skin,
Mm, mm.
and I can't really say that for any previous decade.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, I really kind of know what's going. I don't know. I mean, I watched the Bad Bunny halftime show, of
Mhm.
course, Super Bowl halftime show, and that's as relevant, that's as connected to pop culture as I
Gotcha.
get.
Gotcha. No, that I mean, me too. It's different because I feel like at one point I felt cool because I would be around. He doesn't care about movie stars or musicians unless it's Kendrick Lamar. He likes YouTube personalities,
Mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
I would go to a couple of YouTube parties, and I'm like, oh yeah, that guy, I met that guy, he's nice. What you did? And
Isn't that wild?
I'm just like, yeah, yeah, and it. No, no offense, but I'm just like, he's not Ryan Gosling
Sure,
or
yeah.
like it's like yeah, I'm gonna keep my cool, but if Ryan Gosling popped up right now, I would be freaking out. Ryan
Right.
Gosling, Rashida Jones, just yeah, any of that. I'm just like, no, I would probably I would probably die. Yeah, just I would just like, okay, well, I had a good one, bye, and just lean back and just let death take me. But
We're done.
yeah,
Great. I had a great podcast, and I saw celebs in my dreams, and now I'm out. I'm out.
And this was the plan all along.
Yeah, I remember on Andy Mack, like kind of
Mm,
seeing how like the younger cast and crew responding to like YouTube celebrities too,
hmm.
and like anybody who was over 28, we're like, that's their world. That's
Yeah.
not, that's great. That's great for them. That's great for everybody. Yeah, yeah, anything that's like any type of like YouTube personality or
Hmm.
influencer personality. I can't even begin to try to even have a connection with it. It's just
Mm,
not my time,
yeah.
like it's
It's
um
now. Please tell me you didn't have like one of the Paul brothers show up at one point.
we had a oh gosh, I my memory is all mushy now. We had a Paul brother adjacent.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, this is
Chaz
so
Paul.
bad. He wasn't a Paul brother. It's funny calling them Paul brothers. Um, my memory is so bad.
No.
There's gonna be there's gonna be like some Andy Mack fan is just like, geez, Leland. But yeah, but again too, it's just like, oh, he was just like a nice guest star,
Mm,
and and like we said hi. Um, and but then like the crew who were like 19, like some of the crew members who were like 19ish,
mm.
they were like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, like, but
And
for
you're
me it
like,
was like,
oh my god,
that's
totally.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, seriously, I don't know how I'm gonna do my
I don't
lines
know
up.
his name now,
Yeah.
like that's
It's
I mean I can
my girlfriend, she is younger than me. She's like mid 30s. And she always tries to quiz me on like the Jonas Brothers names. And I'm like, well, there's the one who has like diabetes, right? Or like something. And then
not a
there's
name first of all, Chris.
like diabetes Jonas. And it's just always a struggle for me. And then she'll be like, all right, okay, name all the Kardashian and um Jenner sisters. And I'm like, I there's there's Chris. No, that's the mom. Like, I don't know. So
But that is a family, yeah, not a sister though. Yeah,
but is she really? She could count as a sister.
I think she's trying to count as a sister.
Oh, okay, that's
I think
true.
that's the whole.
That's true.
I can't even believe I know this. Again, too, like I, it's weird to exist in the world of entertainment and
Hmm.
be so clueless in some extremely common knowledge.
Mm.
But I kind of just I know what my hotspots are. Like
Yeah.
I like HBO shows. Now I know kids shows. I know all the hot YouTube kids personalities.
Yeah.
I like comedies. I like strange indie films,
Mm.
and that's it. And I never really responded to reality TV besides
Mm.
Project Runway.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Besides getting embarrassed at social functions sometimes because everybody has this common knowledge and I don't. I'm just fine with my life like that. I
Mm.
do not. I couldn't name the name much about the Kardashian family, and that's fine. I got a lot of people to do that for me.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. And Project Runway is the run with Heidi Klum, right?
was
Or she came. Well,
no,
she came back.
she came back. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
then
she
yeah,
came.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not even watching Project Runway anymore.
Because my girlfriend keeps me up to date with all this, and we saw the last season, and I was just like, oh, the judges are mean. What?
Dang, that's too bad. I was kind of hoping that like in this wonderful in this era too, where it's just like everything is so. I thought we were done with mean.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought we were done with mean. And I think there was a lot of like aspirational reality TV that came out in
Mm,
the pandemic. I watched a little bit of Love is Blind, and people told me to watch it because they're like, it's nice. It's like nicer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, gotcha, you know, now you're
Mm.
humiliated, or here's a challenge that you will never be able to complete. And then you'll be so like strung out, like by having done it, that you won't be able to defend it when you know. And I watched Love on the Spectrum in the
Mm.
pandemic. Um, there's still I still think that show could have been a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
But you know, it celebrated you know, people for being who they are, just for
Mm-hmm.
the most part, and I thought that was really a nice like breath of fresh air. I don't do cooking shows. I don't
Mm.
know why, but like a lot of the cooking shows are so fun and sweet. um how we're just kind of done, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
with just ripping people apart. You know, we don't need that in
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why I like a show like Ted Lasso, because it's just so like touchy and feely in the best way. Um, and of course, Shrinking. Though, like, love Jason Sudeikis, and then just him in a new show, and listening to podcasts that he's been on. I've never
Mhm.
felt more um related, or I don't know. I've never felt one with somebody when he goes, yeah, I wake up every day and I'm sad, and I have to put in a little bit more extra just to be like, like,
Mhm.
bleh, like, and I was just
Do you
like,
mean do you mean Jason Segel
oh
or
yeah,
Jason Segel?
Jason Segel.
I actually
Who did I
why
say?
you said Sudeikis, who makes sense because of
Oh, that
moving into
I was thinking
Lasso.
of Ted Lasso. Yeah, my bad. But
Um,
the
but
Jasons.
but what cued me into that
Mm-hmm.
is that like that, yeah, like Jason is like really like Siegel, like
Yeah,
is really gentle and
yeah,
honest in that
yeah,
way. And
yeah.
oh, I'm so glad that you were able to kind of hear him talk about his experience and feel seen by that.
Oh my gosh, it's just like when celebrities get real, that's when I feel like, wow, okay, I know who this person is. Lizzie Kaplan, she had a moment where she was just like, I'm not happy. My dad died. I'm pissed. I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
process it. So it was nice to see people in their real state, and just like, hey, I'm putting on a character while doing this interview. And I'm like, I mean, it's still fun to see them, but still, like,
Yeah.
getting them to be real. Um, I don't know. I just had a bit more of a connection with that. So,
Mm. I'm really happy to hear that. I still navigate that. I
mm,
still, you know, and if we really wanted to kind of explore that,
mm,
it can go back into like childhood, where it's like, oh, you know, for whatever reason, maybe warranted or not warranted, like I felt like, okay, I have to put on a face.
mm, mm,
And you know, and then I didn't do well with that. I wasn't even great at it,
mm,
because I've just always been a very sensitive person, and I
mm,
was a very
mm,
sensitive child. I cried all the time.
mm,
um and and somewhere along the line, I was going by a set of internal rules where it's like, hey, no one wants to see this.
mm,
um
mm,
like do something entertaining, you
mm,
know, that like. And I got into improv comedy in high school, and um it's been a kind of a journey back to myself as I get older, you know, like my appeal to comedy, my appeal to acting is that like, oh, I can just live in this world and we can all have a good time, and I don't
mm,
really have to be real. And I don't know how to be real sometimes, you know,
mm.
like oh, that's what I felt. And I feel like life has been so real
Yeah,
the
yeah.
past 6 years or so, you know, that like it's kind of just not become an option for so many people who have lived by that. Like I have like, oh, like, hey, put on a public face, and then that's different from your private face, like just because it's like, hey, who's happy right now? Sometimes it feels,
Right, right,
you know, who's crushing it?
right.
Who's
And
killing it right now?
Ryan
Um,
Gosling.
and who knows?
Yeah, who
Who
knows?
knows even? I think that's wonderful, like especially someone of Siegel's status and
Mm,
when I mean status, I guess just like public exposure and
right, because
someone who's
yeah.
had to, just being like, hey, I do a job,
Hmm.
but I still go through the spectrum
Yeah,
of
yeah.
human experience, and it can be very difficult.
Well, and it's because as somebody who has been on the Jason Segel since Freaks and Geeks, it's just like
Mhm.
we've grown up together. Although I feel like
Mhm.
he's a little bit older, and I listened to all the commentaries, seen all the movies he's done, and it's just an interesting thing where even though he has this success, he's part of him still isn't happy, and so that just kind of um uh I don't know. I like we all go through that. That's something that's unavoidable. We're gonna be happy and we're gonna be sad. And
It is so true.
yeah.
And kind of a medium warm take.
Hmm.
I'll say in a couple of years. I'm not including myself in this.
Hmm.
I'm hanging out as a cool dead wife on Shrinking.
Yeah.
But I've had more compassion for A-list celebrities
Yeah.
over the years too, and also kind of just really on my own reflected on the kind of this strange societal um expected transaction that we
Mm.
make with somebody who is A-list,
Hmm.
where it's like, hey, look, you've got so much money, which is true. Anybody who is an A-list person, aside from maybe reality TV or influence, I actually don't know how that works.
Hmm.
Um, it has probably a ton of money,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but then we say, I feel like as a society we say, because you have so much money, it's open season.
Right.
We're going to get into your life. We're going to get into your
Hmm.
divorce. We're going to take pictures of you outside of we're going to take pictures of Ben Affleck, on his worst day holding coffee.
Yeah.
We all know the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah. Holding
Um,
Duncan, or yeah, it's just like,
yeah,
uh,
I'm glad that Britney Spears documentary came out in the pandemic,
mm,
because I was a young teen when she was at her height, and it was
hmm,
so, and everybody was sniping at her
hmm.
and holding her to impossible standards. She was getting it from like, you're so inappropriate for kids, and then like the media, like her producers or whatever, exploiting her as like a child.
Hmm.
And then don't even get me started on like the whole conservatorship
Yeah.
conservatorship. So but like it's just like, oh, this is the modern version of human sacrifice.
Right.
Like they
Right.
still get to live, and we say it's okay because, quote, they have money. And
Hmm.
it's like, when does it okay to completely debase somebody like that?
Right.
Um and 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 uh so, so my hot take is like, guys, we gotta be nicer to celebrities.
Right.
But I believe
Well,
in
it's
it.
true because there have been I'm a NBA guy. I love NBA, and there are these athletes coming out against ice and saying how it's wrong. The Alex and Renee shouldn't have died, and you have Whoopi Goldberg in the background saying, "Hey, you're a sports person. Just dribble your ball and be quiet about that." And I'm just
Wait, Whoopi
like,
Goldberg? Sorry,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, no, yeah. Whoopi said
hmm,
that to
on the View.
yeah, with
Okay.
a basketball a star they had on, Victor Wembiana. He goes by Wemby. They just told him to be, or she told him to be quiet, and he was just like, "Well, I do play sports, but I'm also a human being." So, and I'm paraphrasing that by a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just like, yeah, we're all people. Just because somebody is a millionaire doesn't mean that they're game for like punishment or anything like that, unless they're on some sort of list.
Well, you brought up another interesting point too that also doesn't sit right with me about how we
Mm-hmm.
treat celebrities is like because they are in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
we as the public believe that it's like a like weirdly enough we have the standards to like we have a democratic standard for our celebrities that we
Mm-hmm.
should have for politicians.
Right.
You know, it's like for our politicians, we're like, we voted you in office,
Mm-hmm.
you should be doing our bidding, and they should be because we pay for their salary,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I mean, obviously you can't please everyone, but they have a responsibility to the people.
Mm-hmm.
But we attribute this same thing, we put the same thing on celebrities where it's like, you need to be saying what I think you should be saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Just you should be dancing over there and you know, I don't know,
It's like, you
telling
shut up and do
jokes.
your thing that I
Yeah.
want you to do. Like, we would never say that to a neighbor.
Right.
We wouldn't. It's like, you need to believe what I believe, and or you need to stop saying, what I think is wrong. Like, but we, and especially like we have these social medias things and stuff like this. Where people have direct channels
Mm-hmm.
to public figures. I mean, I was kind of reflecting on the other day too, and also, like I've gotten messy in there too. Like I've, you know, I feel like when I've been like overly heated about something, I've like just like use the inappropriate outlet of like, I'm going to comment on this person's post. I haven't done it in time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so it's like we're all navigating this world together. But I was very surprised even before, like, there were a lot of like international and nationwide political movements after the
Mm.
after lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got on Andi Mack, just kind of like there was such a large spectrum of how, for lack of a better term, fans would interact, would leave messages.
Mm-hmm.
And some were like, filled with adoration, and I didn't quite know how to process that either. It was flattering, but I felt I didn't understand what responsibility I
Right.
had, and I still don't. But some would be like, "Hey, you need to do this. You need to change your profile picture. You need to
Mm.
be not speaking out about Trump, or you need to not be doing." And kind of, it wasn't just their ask, but in the way the ask
Mm-hmm.
was, it was like, no, it was like a direct command.
Right.
And part of it too is just like, I think it's different when you're on a kids show, and like kids were,
Mm.
we weren't good role models. We didn't have any precedents on how we're supposed to be responding to social media, because it just kind of like hit us all at once.
Right.
So they're just kind of figuring it out, like, and I kind of figured it out and didn't figure it out at the same time. But I just thought that was so interesting that now that there were these platforms where fans could say whatever they wanted to the people they could watch on TV,
Mm-hmm.
like I was very surprised that, like, just that wide spectrum of like, or just look at me,
Mm-hmm.
respond to this, look at me, you know.
Yeah.
I It's just such an odd thing. I didn't know what my role was or should have been.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. I don't know. I love. I guess I shouldn't say I love. Social media is its own beast where if you're on it, therefore people think, oh, I can talk to you because you're on here and so am I. So let me ask you stuff and stuff. But it's just like,
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the
we
day,
wouldn't have found each other if it weren't for
no.
social media.
Um, at the end of the day, I mean, you you don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like that's just kind of how
yeah,
I just
yeah.
see it. So
I hear it. I hear that too, and yeah, it like, and I think to expand on that too,
mhm.
is just like, oh, everybody gets to make their own rules on
Mhm.
how they want to navigate whatever they have. Some people in the public eye who are in public in sports or in
Mhm.
public on TV don't have a social media presence.
Mhm.
And and for me, like I found some like broad things that work for me. I don't DM. I don't
Mm.
respond to any DMs at all. I barely respond to my own friends' DMs, and they're like, "Hi, are you alive?" Um, yeah, people, my friends know if they need to contact me, they got a text.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, Instagram is really hit or miss.
yeah.
And that I felt was like, oh God, it was a much needed boundary for me. Like, because again, too, it comes back to that sensitivity where I care so passionately about the social issues that I care about.
Mhm.
And I also like I care about people, and I care
Mhm.
about individuals, and I care about individuals having a good experience. And a lot of times those things are at odds.
Right.
And I've had to kind of and navigate that too. And sometimes I'm responsible, and sometimes I'm emotional, and sometimes I'm snarky, and um and it's hard, too, when you're in the public eye. You just get a lot of asks. You get a
Mm.
lot of asks, and
Mhm.
just to remember, like you said, like, hey, you're not, because just because you're in the public eye, you're not obligated
Mhm.
to take on everyone's
Right.
ask. But I don't know if I knew that.
It's
Like, I think
like
my job is to take on everyone's asks.
I just want to roller skate, and now you're asking me to do this? No, I don't
And
wanna.
it's
So.
yeah, like and I think part of, like, right now, this chapter two is just like, oh, have I can have grace for myself, and for anybody who's just kind of like been on the road to figure it out,
Mhm.
and through trial and error,
Mhm.
like, there are times I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. Or I should have said something,
Mhm.
or even in public too, where it's like, "Ugh, I didn't spend enough time with this fan." I think about those things a lot. I
Mhm.
really do. um and just kind of remembering, it's like, hey, everyone's going to make their own rules about this kind of thing,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't creep on you or see what your fans are saying, but I feel like everybody loves you. So I you know
Well, I'll just have to confirm individually.
and starting
Person by
now,
person.
Aaron
um
Aronson.
but also, too, Chris, like, another part of growth is not just looking back at this, but
Hmm.
understanding, it's like, oh, it's okay if everybody doesn't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, the quote that sticks with me so hard was said by a coworker and friend I had when I worked as a barista.
Hmm.
I am of untitled faith.
Hmm.
She was a Christian, and but this really stuck with me because I think Jesus is cool. I like him. Seems like he's got some good stuff to say, and I'm for it. But she was talking about how she felt, as like a young teenager. She felt sad because, like, not everybody liked her at school, and her
Yeah.
dad or mom was like, "Do you think everybody loved Jesus?"
Hmm.
And that, like, blew her mind, and it blew my mind
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like, that's what works for me, is just being like, yeah, how can anybody take issue with Jesus?
Hmm.
But they did,
They
and
did.
in a very fatal way.
Yes, and
It
it's
has
now the
consequential.
imagery that we celebrate, and
Geez, yeah. I wish, I mean, a friend of mine told me that that, like, as a teen, she went over to a friend's house, and they had a portrait of Jesus who was laughing.
mm,
And she was talking about how beautiful that was,
hmm,
because it's like, this man, like, this man lived a full on life.
hmm,
He did so many things. He had so many good moments, but the one thing that we repeat over and over and over again is, like, the worst of his suffering.
yeah, yeah,
Like, and how refreshing that was to just know that, like, yeah, Jesus thought things were funny.
hmm. I'm sure he was a comedian. We just don't hear much about it. We don't hear
Wouldn't
about
that be cool?
his stand up routines because he was doing other stuff. So he was like, oh, okay, hammering stuff in and just he pretend like, oh, you hit my thumb. No, you didn't. It's just We don't hear these stories. We just,
No one talks about his exquisite carpentry. He's like,
yeah,
man, more people talked about my chairs. I
yeah,
make good chairs, you guys.
yeah. They reclined. Come on.
Back in the day, you got a reclining chair. Come on, people, get it? Have some lore. Have some lore about that.
Well,
Um,
I love
yeah.
how you said that you love people and social issues, and I feel like you would be good to host a podcast whenever that. I don't know, whenever that happens. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but if it does, yeah.
What a segue. What a
Thank
segue, Chris.
you, thank you.
Because boy, do I have news for you.
What? Tell me what news you have.
Surely it isn't the news that reconnected us back so I could cross promote on your podcast. I have decided it is time.
Mm-hmm.
There are not enough podcasts
Mm-hmm.
there already. There needs to be one more.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really hope when people listen to my podcast, they have just as much, they have half as much fun as I had being in that conversation. This podcast is called
Mm-hmm.
Pondersations. And as the intro will tell you, I'm a ponder person. I just love to think. I love to ruminate on what I like could have done. But no, I just like to kind of turn over thought, to figure out if Jesus is disappointed that more people don't talk about his chairs or whatever.
Right.
Um, and having a long form, easygoing, deep dive ride of a podcast was really important to me.
Yeah.
And I want to say, I got to re-record my intro because I was promoting it like this to a friend last night. I promote to my friends. And it was like, oh yeah, that's, I feel like a really important way to describe the tone. My guests were chosen by instinct.
Mm.
I was like, for me, it wasn't just about me as the host. It was like, who do I feel like I'm vibing with right now?
Right.
Um, or I would have a little ponder thought. I'd make a little voice memo of it. And I was like, who connects really well to this voice memo? It's this person. It's Luke Tenney from Shrinking. It's Devin Kawoka from Shrinking. It's Peyton Elizabeth Lee. It's my friend who's a poet. I wanted to do a vibes forward conversation. So in Pondersations, when I was developing it, with my producer, Andrew, I was like, it has to be in my place. It has to be in my kitchen, which is also my dining room, which is also my living room. I live in an open floor condo, an open floor plan condo.
And I'm not cleaning the kitchen. Not cleaning it.
I don't for many of I didn't have time. Okay, look, I'm a mom. I don't have time for everything. I'm a mom and I'm a creative. Okay, the kitchen is not always going to be clean. But and part of the ritual is I got a little latte machine and I know how to make lattes for my time as a barista. So I make a little latte for my guests and we sink in, and I just loved what came out of it, and it surprised me so much where people went and where we went together that I hope I can share that. I hope that beauty comes across when people listen to it.
No, yeah, because I listened to the first episode that you did with Luke, and
thank you.
It was just I just felt like it was a flowing conversation where it just would go wherever it went, but also me learning a lot. I don't know a whole lot about Luke other than what I see on Shrinking, but I know that's not the full Luke that I'm seeing. That's just a part of it. So I got very I'm always curious on how I am the way that I am, because I grew up with a sister, and I'm not the classic like masculinity type of person. Like I like even with my friends, we're never like chicks, dude, chicks. No, we're just like no, let's like go play games or something. But then I heard like Andy Samberg talk about how since he had older sisters, he respected women more, and that just kind of influenced him. And I was just like, oh, maybe that's why I relate to him and I find his comedy funny because we're just kind of the same. You know, we had older
Mm.
sisters. And then there was one part of Luke's conversation when he was mentioning his sister and how she graduated and or I don't know if his sister or is it him graduated in '06, and I was just like '06 kicks because graduated in '06. So I was just like, what? No way. I could be on Shrinking. No,
That's awesome.
no. But still, I'm always kind of aware about of those people that I don't know are the new type of masculinity, linity people that are just like take care of other people and not so much like do what I say because I'm man. Because I hate that type of person. I've never been that type of person, and I told my girlfriend I'm not that type of person. We're a team.
Mhm.
Just want to make that clear. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm. I think getting to know Luke better in that conversation
Mm-hmm,
too, like Luke Tinney is like such a great like role model, that kind of
mm-hmm,
masculinity too. And that's another thing that like we haven't done societally, we American society, I mean, haven't done well is to know that masculinity doesn't exist as one thing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like we think when we think about masculine as Americans, I think we think immediately what you were this
Yeah.
like stereotype of like I am in charge.
Right.
Um,
Like or
it's my way. Chicks do chicks,
yeah,
I guess.
or an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where
Yes,
like
and
that's programmed in my brain what it is and
like, but to like Luke talks about like oh how he loves his like what he learned from his older sister
mm-hmm,
and like how he loves his family and what
mm-hmm,
he tries to like bring into in his partnership,
mm-hmm,
and it's so team and equal based,
mm-hmm,
and it's like I really do feel like that is true masculinity, especially in a patriarchal culture, which is pretty much everywhere in
mm-hmm,
the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
Like true masculinity is observing your power and calibrating it,
right,
you
right,
know
yeah,
like observing it's like okay look like I'm stacked in many ways here, society responds to me. I will normally naturally be in charge, and there's there's also like a broad physical element to that of like I'm expected to be the person who's doing more of the literal heavy lifting.
mm-hmm,
Um and and uh and and then with that expectation, setting like a gentle example is so I want to say it sexy.
mm-hmm,
It's to see somebody to have that composure, like a masculine person have composure and
mm-hmm,
balance, is like just it sets me alight.
mm-hmm.
I'm so happy my partner is, I can't imagine my partner not being somebody who embodies these values.
Yeah,
But like it was one of the things that drew me to him so intensely when we first started dating is
mm-hmm,
like, oh, this person is thinking about all the ways that he can be a better man.
right,
Like he's got female friends,
mm-hmm,
firstly, important.
mm-hmm.
Great green flag. um uh, and uh and if a female friend brings up to something to him that he doesn't understand, he goes straight to the bookstore, asks the book clerk, I'd like a book on feminism.
Right,
Like what you got, let me fill in a gap. Like uh and to see men embody that more and more. I get a lot of parent talk
mm,
on the TikTok. A lot of reels in the Instagram algorithm are now, And I love seeing this like new wave of dads come
Right.
out who are like, so like we split the workload, or like, or I know that because we're living in patriarchal society, it's going to be expected more of my hetero partner that
Mhm.
she's going to take on the workload. Therefore, I'm going to swoop in. I'm going to nip that in the bud.
Yeah.
Um, and dads were just like aware of it too, you know, like we are so biased as a society. There was one time when our kid was a baby, my husband was walking him in the stroller,
Hmm.
and a woman just said, like an older woman was just like, thank you for your service. She literally said, thank you for your service.
Okay.
Like,
All
wow,
right. Bye.
cool.
Whatever. And yeah, man, I remember I broke down and cried because I went on vacation with my family, and I left my girlfriend here because she wanted to stay here. So I was like, okay, no problem. And so I was like, okay, just if you can handle the day to day, that would be cool. And I was gone for about 4 days, and she uh like called me and said, "Hey, I just want to thank you for everything that you do around the house." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she was listing off all the things, and I was like, "It's okay."
Oh,
And yeah, it's just like, if it's not going to get done, so I might as well just do it. So
what, like the feeling that came up, was it more like a realization of like, oh, men don't really do this, or was it just kind of like, oh wow, like we really are a team, or what was that for
it
you?
was. I feel like I went into an autopilot mode with that. I always take out the garbage. I always, feed my puppy, or like just do
Mm.
the dishes. Like I would just do that because that's just an autopilot mode, and I'm work from home and she's not, so I just do it. But then, yeah, she was just like, "Thank you," and I was just like, so
I love that.
yeah.
I love everything about the story. I love that you're taking out the trash. I love that you are in touch with your emotions.
Oh yeah, no, I cry a lot.
You are masculinity, Chris.
Ugh, I
You are
uh, I cried.
healthy.
I cried during the Bad Bunny Super Bowl show. Okay,
Mm.
and I was just I'm not somebody who is in touch with his Latin side, but I was just so excited, proud, like all the good stuff that he did it, and he didn't have to compromise on his vision, and he still showed um, what he does. And so yeah, I just I turned to mush.
I believe in a lot of my friends who
Mm,
and that's also by design, Chris. Like,
mm,
you know, we're not, if we come from multiple cultures, um uh, we we're not given the message
mm-hmm.
that, or we haven't been given the message
Yeah.
that they are equally as valuable
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, you know. um yeah, especially now. Especially like I'm thinking of like the alt halftime show of just like
I do have to say I did feel Bob with the ba with the bang bang. So that just kind of always happens. So
that is too generous. But I'm so happy to hear that. I think that was that like that. I watched it after the day after because
mm,
I don't sport so much. I don't even watch the Super Bowl,
yeah.
but I love it for my friends who do. Um, but like it was for sure emotional,
Mm-hmm.
for 100% emotional, and I think for like anyone, especially if like you come from a Latin origin,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like to see that it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
see that in unabashed cultural pride and celebration is possible like that, like without watering down, without,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about what's anybody else going to think, or could this get past it, just like being like, no, this is exactly what I want to do creatively.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful and it is emotional. I'm so happy that the halftime show had that effect on you.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, it's it's one thing if I know my girlfriend's having a bad day, I just kind of like flip that on and she'll just, uh, be like yes,
That's
and then excited, and then this is how it is. This is how it. She's very vocal.
mm,
She's a theater
oh,
teacher, so she's vocal.
I love that.
But yeah. Um, and before I let you go, I don't know if this is a compliment or just I feel like as far as podcast hosts go, I feel like you are gonna crush it because you crush everything. But because I do feel that improv actors, improv background, they make the best kind of people. You have to be open to capturing other people's emotions, and also you have to listen to what they're saying. So I like anything in life. I think if you have an improv background, you're just gonna be better at anything uh, because of that.
That's really kind. That's really kind, Chris. I'm happy to just kind of put out a little kooky little something, um just kind of like how the recordings went, be able to have it reveal itself to me,
Hmm.
and I'm really excited for people to be able to absorb the nuggets of wisdom that I've been able to absorb in these conversations that I've had.
Hmm.
So thank you so much for that,
Of
Chris. And
course,
thank you for being a great podcast host.
I try. But I mean, you like good at everything, whether it's directing, writing, acting, podcasts, like roller skating. I know you stopped that for a little bit, but you're gonna be good at it. So it's just improv people are just superior people. That's what I have to say.
Wow. Well,
I'll
it's
say
too
it.
nice. My cheeks are red and I gotta go.
Before you go, for anybody that would like to keep up with you on the online, or check out the podcast, where can they do all that?
Follow me at your friend Lilan on Instagram. That's kind of where it's happening for me. I'm like kind of creeping around on Blue Sky,
Mm,
um Substack. I'm now on Substack, but really it's just like I'll find a random thing and be like, I'm reposting this just so I can find it. This is a bookmark. This is not for
mm,
anybody. um but I love journaling so much.
mm,
So this is not a plug. This is just my thought. I'd love to be able to get that Substat more journaling focused,
mm.
and find other people who journal, because I don't know where they are right now. Um, and then the podcast is called
Mm.
Pondersations.
Yes.
If you type it in, it'll autocorrect to ponderation. That's a real word. Pondersations is not a real word. Get that S
Yes.
in
So
there.
so pick the fake word first.
Pick the fake word first, and it's wherever you get your podcast, which is Apple, Spotify, or you can subscribe to backdrop.fm.
Hmm.
And if you become a Patreon member, then you get all the podcasts and you get all the bonus stuff too. There's some really good stuff on Backdrop. Open Mike Eagle has a podcast that I just guested
Mm.
on, really great, with Anna Marie Cox. There's for the people who are the Love Boat, the TV show, the original Diehards.
Hmm.
There's a full Love Boat podcast with the cast members.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff on Backdrop. .fm. So yeah, it would be fun. And also, like, I do bonus stuff too. Like, I talk about like my audition on Shrinking and stuff like
Mm.
that, which will be released later. So yeah, ways to find it.
There we go. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I want to make sure that your husband has his room back, even though we're a little over time, but whatever. Like, he can
Thank you,
he
Chris.
can
Thank
deal
you
with it.
so much.
Thank you. But I'll let you go. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and you and your family keep staying healthy. Okay.
And you and your girlfriend keep watching Bad Bunny.
Yeah, no problem there. No problem. All
Thank
right. All right. Bye bye.